How's everybody doing this morning? Over here. And let's go live. Okay. How many people we got here? Anybody? Oh, we got one person here. How you doing? What's going on, Chef Hood? What's up, Nick? Incredible Fitness, how you doing? Alex? What's going on? Good morning, Daniel, Matthew, my friend. What's going on? We buying this dip. It seems like we keep buying the dip every single day. We're buying this dip. Just know it's tough to be able, if you're looking to buy, hundreds of shares, it's tough to be able to buy this dip here. Want to hear about our lawyer? No. Good morning. Good morning. Wes Christian. All right. Let me make sure I don't have a thumbnail. That same thumbnail where it just says live there. Where's it at? There it is. All right, let's see. You think we will touch 28 or 29? I mean, at this point, it's the unknown, really. We're starting to see some things come back, other positions come back. So instead of everything really being down, so at this point, it's definitely the unknown. Yesterday we seen a double touch point around this time of 36 and ended up decreasing to a low of 33. So if we're seeing a low of 31 and we see a double touch point at 31, and that's where it'll end up getting to a situation where I believe it could be sub 30. Had a dream that AMC dropped to about $3 last night, and then it went. Yeah, that would be phenomenal if it did, because I'm telling you, if it goes down to single digits, you know how many people are buying every single dip possible? It's gonna be crazy. Always listen to you in the pre-market. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Good morning. Start hitting that like button. Yes. We have 79 people. Start hitting that like button right away, right when you get in here. There are too many YouTubers saying that JP Morgan is warning hedge funds to expect an intraday margin call. This could trigger the short squeeze probably today or tomorrow. I mean, the way that we look at this, like I said, said before, there's a bunch of information out there that I can sit here and say, oh, this is going to happen, today, tomorrow, next week, because of this. And a lot of times we get disappointed. So let's just let it surprise us and let it happen out of nowhere, because that's what we're looking for. Because every time that we have seen an increase, a massive increase, it has been at a time to where we did not know if it was going to make that increase. So let's not get stuck on, one situation or, just a little bit of information that we get from some source, and it may be a valid source, but AMC is leaking back now. Yeah. Not for long, bud. If that's happening, I'm selling all my weed stocks and buying more. If it goes to single digits, the sell button will be cut off. I don't know what that means, because I don't think it would be if it went to single digits for them shorting it. It's not something where we're selling it. I'm not going to sell it. I mean, either way, if it goes down to $3, I made money on the deal, so I'm not losing any money. One outcome is hedge funds will run out of money. Understand your play before you buy. Imagine selling AMC. Things move fast, don't they? Jeez. If it goes to single digits, I might pass away. I've lost everything but $400. I was willing to lose it, but damn, it does it suck. And you don't lose it until you sell. My guy's telling me it will dip back to 12 before the squeeze. Don't have the date. Don't have a date. Just buy and hold and wait. Yes. Good morning, Matt. Let's make this money today. And no one knows what is going to happen. Exactly. No one knows what's going to happen, so we don't have to get stuck on certain dates. And I understand it's great to have information out there and say that, this is a likelihood of happening, or has a high likelihood of happening, or something. I don't know. But you don't need to get stuck on dates and have everybody get disappointed. There were so many days when it was down to lower and lower levels where people got so disappointed in things that didn't happen. And I don't want to be that form of disappointment. I was at 35K, now at 19K, still holding. Yeah, I mean, my overall account was at 76K, and now it's at 47K. So it has dropped quite a bit since we started to drop from the higher levels of like maybe 65 or so. There's no date. This is the definition of diamond handing, a trust test of your sentiment to the stock. Yes. Hey, Matt, any thoughts on Cornish Industries? They're a mining company in the UK. Yep. Old Cornish oil has been found. Other stuff needs for EV batteries. I haven't looked into it. Is it a position that I could buy into? Did it have a ticker symbol? Let's do it. Nothing will trigger the except for Matthew Perry, I saw your video about losing 14K. I love how much conviction you have. Yeah, I mean, that was the purpose of that video, is really just to show you. You meant the buy button. It kept me out. But yeah, that's the purpose of that video, is really just to show you that I'm down 14K and much more than that in a month's time. In a month's time, I'm down 20 plus. But in the last 5 days, I'm down quite a bit. 14,000, and I'm like, okay, most of it is coming from AMC. Other positions are also at a loss as well, but I'm losing a lot on that position. It's not something that I'm really worried about, to tell you the truth. Typically, if I'm day trading and swing trading, you'll see me, have a lot of discipline and be, and pull out of the position early at a loss of like $20 or $200, depending what my profit target is. But with this position, no, I truly do believe where it can get to and where it's going to get to. So that's exactly why I made that video. I got West Christian, maybe representing the apes, and I think he's 50K on GoFundMe. If you went down to single digits, couldn't hedge funds easily cover? If they start to cover, then it's going to drive the price up a heck of a lot, because remember, a lot of this is due to the naked shorting that's going on. So when they start to cover, once they start to cover, it just increases and increases and increases, and as they cover, they're covering at higher and higher prices. So yes, they can cover, but they're giving up everything that they've done, that they've built, I guess, with this. short squeeze wall that they've created. I forgot to follow up with you about Ruby yesterday. I don't know what Ruby is. Is it a cryptocurrency? Nope, I missed. I'm way behind. This is why subscribers only is just so difficult. What if you sell and then this happens this and you miss the boat? Yeah, exactly. If you do, then a lot of people will end up buying in and creating that FOMO buying opportunity for them because they know where it's going to go. My average is currently 50 also. We need to hold our apes. Yes, I'm at 22K from 44K. Hold it to the moon. It's great to be transparent. It really, you really start to get an understanding of where everybody exactly is and how long they've been holding. Man, I'm in the red, 14K. Still holding and trying to convince my husband not to sell this half on his app. Very hard to hold on and keep my husband from selling. Well, yeah, that's where it ends up getting tough. When you see the price decreasing so much, that's where it gets really, really tough to hold on to positions. And this whole situation is built on the fact that we are holding. It's the difference between MRIN and BSQR and CLNN and all of these other, shorted positions, right? Is the fact that we're holding a lot of the stock. It's a different story when you're not holding a lot of the stock. So if you don't have people that are holding and they're trying to paint this picture where people are not holding, and this is why all of us are here on YouTube. This is why I'm here. This is why Matt's here, Trey's here, TMI, Lou, whoever is here, because we just want to make sure that the community knows we're not letting go of this thing, even though they have people on subreddits that are, kind of spamming it and, spreading FUD in any way, trying to tell people, hey, everyone's selling, so you might as well sell type of thing, when people aren't really selling. So we're here to verbally tell you, hey, not making that move. This community not making that move. They're not selling anything. So I'm 10,000 shares strong. 10,000 shares? Yeah, I'm 10,000 shares strong. In Verb, thoughts on Verb, please. 10,000 on Verb. Is it a penny stock? Is it $2.49? Verb has increased 20% in the pre-market, 12% yesterday. So it is making a move, amidst all this other jazz that we got going on. It's looking good that it is holding certain levels. Let's look at, I don't know why we're seeing an increase like that. Is it something where it's just being pumped, or is it a heavily shorted position? I don't know the detail behind it. Or does it have some sort of technology behind it that's new and innovative, which I don't know about. We are seeing an upward trajectory, so it does look really, really good. If you're already holding 10,000 shares, then you're in at a great spot. I don't know if you bought in yesterday or you bought in previously when it was like $1, $9 or 90 cents or whatever, where you bought in at. But at this point, it's starting to get to a high to where it is overbought. I'm not saying that's going to completely come back and not continue on that trajectory, but it does look like a point to where if I was buying this position somewhere around here, I probably would have sold somewhere around here, even if it did have that possibility of increasing, because I'm looking for the short term. If you're looking for long term, it could be a different story, but that's not something that I'm looking for when it comes to this position. Or when it comes to most positions, I'm not really looking for a long-term play. I'm mainly looking for $1, $2 gain, something like that. So seeing this, depending how long you're trying to hold it for, you can kind of see what you want to see. A lot of times you force yourself to see what you want to see. So for me, I would have probably invested somewhere around here, sold probably maybe around that dollar mark, and right now it looks like it might be a form of leveling out rather than pulling back, because it did pull back from $3.30 and now you're seeing an increase in the pre-market, 21%. So depending on what you're looking for, if you're looking for a long-term or short-term position, it all depends. Yeah, I guess it all depends on that. But for me, short-term, I would wait for a pullback. Long-term, I mean, you just want to probably hold it out, depending on what the news is and what you see with that company. I subscribe for the chat. Well, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. Don't buy high and sell low. Yes. 100K, 10K, never possible. I don't know what that means. My average is 30. I'm holding. So you're right near your average. My average is 26, so I'm right near it as well. Sitting 35 on the daily RSI, seeing a big bounce in the future for AMC. Look at this like sell off. The way that this is flowing, like it does not break this line. It's a clear sell. It does not break this line at all. You have a sell off, you have a little bit of a comeback, right? And then you have that massive sell off again. It's something where it's breaking, or it's not breaking this line. It's clear manipulation. There's no breakaway. It's ridiculous. Just added 780 shares at $32. That's awesome. Good morning. Please go members only. These shields are making me bang my head against the wall. All right, I'll go members only in like 3 minutes. Check the news on Verb. Key levels on AMC stock chart. Why are they bringing up? They're bringing up AMC that's tied to this. Oh wait, we're okay. I was gonna say what? I thought I was still in Verb. I was gonna say what the heck is going on here? Losers. Okay. Afternoon market update. Not really giving me any real news. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't see anything about it. There's no news on Verb right now. So it's not really telling me too much. 18 hours ago, I worked 29% of the partnership with Market America. Okay, so there's a partnership with Market America. $2.08 after the company said partnership to launch Shop Live. And when is that supposed to be launched? Services Shop Live can be seen as a business building. Yeah, but when is it supposed to launch? That's if they're going to launch Shop Live. I think this is more of a buy the rumor, sell the news. That's what it's looking like. If you have concrete dates, that's usually what happens. What happened to my picture? Okay, there we go. I don't know what the hell happened to the picture in the background. All right, I'm closing this up. Sorry for anybody that is. Anybody that really wanted to just comment as a subscriber. I'm seeing someone that said I sold already. Like what? All right, yeah, I'm closing that up. Not even worried about any of the other. I have 1,700. That's awesome. Why am I doing market? I don't know why I put market in. AMC. If you're worried, I suggest you don't look at the charts for the rest of the week. Yes, AMC to 199 today is the day. Always coming in clutch with those high predictions. One day it's not going to be a high prediction. Not so loud now, huh? SSR does not mean they can't short a stock. Good morning, folks. Yes, you're right. Wow, 31.5. Yeah, like I said, if it tests 31 again, that's not surprising to me. And it may be a situation where we see the same thing as yesterday. All right, we got 366 people in here, guys. Hit the like button if you can. It does help out the channel quite a bit. Let me clear out some of these. Wow. Getting down to 31 is just ridiculous. 31, a low of $31.56. Apes have to do something to regain momentum. Yes. I mean, we can only do what we're doing. We can hold. We can continue to buy. I know people are buying, but it's not really increasing the price as much, right? We're buying up this position. If they continue to short it, they're continuing to make their situation worse and worse. No, I don't know if anything is going on with. Let me see. Let me go to Ortex. Yeah. Everything that they're showing is just completely ridiculous. Any predictions for today? Not right now. I mean, it's still a little bit early. It's 6:30, so I can't go down to $1. I don't care not selling, or it can go down to $1 not caring. So yeah, again, if it does go down to that point, I mean, there's so many people that are still in it to hold, and if it goes down to $1, it's something to where you can increase the amount of shares that you have by a massive amount. I mean, it goes down to $1. It's like it's basically saying with you spending $1,000, you can buy 1,000 shares right now, and that's exactly what I would do. I would easily take $8,000 and buy 8,000 shares. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's exactly what I would do. If it went down to single digits, I would start buying a crazy amount. It could easily go under 30, but it will go up. They have they have to buy all this back. Yes, Eventually they have to. Just look at the sale. If you can afford to buy now, it's a good time. I think it's going to test 23 personally. Everybody has their own opinions of where it's going to go. It's literally just I don't know. It's up in the air. Like I can't really give a full prediction on where it's going to go because it defies every single like pattern, law, rule that I see, and it just keeps dropping. It's falling in a completely straight line, which makes no sense whatsoever. You're telling me there's no buying action whatsoever? The only time you see this stuff happen is when it's like a completely straight line down. Just like let me see what I can do. Just like this, like completely straight line down, right? Or completely straight line up. That's the only time you see that happening. But this is on like an angle to where it's not slowly decreasing, but you can see it's like kind of middle of the road decreasing down 15%, 5%, 10%. But the point is that it's dropping in a very straight line, which doesn't happen often. The perfect sell-off, perfect 45-degree angle. So textbook, like an algorithm. Yes, they use algorithms all the time. They have something set up to where the computer knows how much you are buying, how many orders are going through, and whenever an order goes through at a certain level, they're there to keep it down. So that's just how it goes. It defies the law of supply and demand. Yeah, it does. Number 1, dark pools. Number 2, spoofing. Number 3, high frequency trading. 4, Adam Aaron equals paper hand. MC option manipulation. Yes. broker like Fidelity and TD Ameritrade will margin call us before them. Yeah, of course. Any broker, especially if they have them on their side, I mean they have more money to invest into their platforms if they are going to do that. You think the whales are worried? I think some whales, newer whales are probably worried. So people that hold, I don't know, retail whales and institutional like investors, depending what whale you're talking about, like the largest holders overall, or just newer whales that are on the scene that probably bought 30,000 shares or something. I would imagine they're getting, some of them are probably getting a little bit scared, but I would imagine some of them that are experienced understand how the market works and understands the play that's at hand. Why do you think costs will squeeze? Costs made a huge move with AMC and GME last time, and I don't think costs will squeeze. I just think it will rapidly increase. AMC, we are the whales. Yeah, newer whales with higher averages. Yes, I would say even newer whales with lower averages. Look at this. Look at how this RSI goes from being oversold to jumping very close to 60 in a matter of a couple of candlesticks, only going up 40 cents. It's a little ridiculous. Did we check Ortex yet? Yeah, Ortex is not giving me any type of real updated data. We're still sitting at about 15% short interest of free float, but I would imagine they're doing this all from behind the scenes, not here. They're doing it from behind the scenes. Is it going to test 30? I think we see covering from smaller short positions. Mm-hmm. Hedges are in survival mode. Yeah. Good time to buy or Just I wait to buy more. Oh, is it a good time to buy or should I wait to buy more? That's totally on you. There's a lot of times to where this is why you won't see it go up as fast because a lot of people that are in this position, if they are holding, they're really waiting to buy more, you know, and there's always this. I don't know why we see this where when the price is going up fast, you have a lot of people that are willing to buy, and that's what creates faster increase because of all the FOMO buying. But when the price is going down to lower levels where people can get more share, people are hesitant to buy. So that's where I don't understand it. But then again, I do because I'm kind of the same way. You know, I said to myself, hey, I will. I said to myself, I will only buy more if it goes down to certain levels. It's too obvious that retail isn't selling, and I'm not leaving not for pennies. Yeah, I hear you. And that thoughts on Lou versus Wall Street, J.P. Morgan, and delayed buy orders. um, well, Lou is a great person. He has a lot of information, right? And he gets straight to the point. So I like him. The whole J.P. Morgan situation, I'm not feeding into. I'm not a person that's gonna push that narrative in any way. Um, I understand that creates a positive in some form or fashion, but also creates a negative when it doesn't happen. So there's a lot of different things that are out there, and I'm going to stick to what we're seeing. Whatever we're seeing on the charts, on Ortex data, from behind the scenes, I will stick to those sites, that information. But I'm not going to push things that may or may not happen. Good morning. Got back from vacation, looking to buy some more shares this morning. That's good. You have a certain price point you're looking to buy in at. Let's see. I hope it goes into $1 that they're spending millions to suppress. But they are really artificially screwing up the market, and no one cares. Oh, wait, with no care. Yeah, you're right. Don't know why it capped. I would have waited in a downtrend, and it's up to you. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, people, like I said, people are waiting, and when people wait, it's not usually the best situation. When people wait, the reason why is because as you see people waiting around not buying anything, um, that's where you can see that downward trend continue, and we are in a downward trend. But in order to break that, we need buying pressure. So um, it depends when you want to break it. I mean, for me, I can let it go lower and lower and lower. I know some people will get more afraid as they're losing money. Um, Let me tell you the truth. I'm okay with wherever it goes to. I know that I'm going to buy a crap ton more if it goes down to lower and lower levels. And just know if AMC is decreasing, then all the positions that I'm holding as well probably are going to make that move. So total account will be like kind of wiped out at that point. But with any influx in money, it's definitely going to push that back up. This is a calm before the storm. You have ebbs and flows of the market, and you understand everything that happens here. I at least understand it. Who does have inside information? And I believe somewhat what he says because I know how crooked business is. Yeah, I agree with you. I haven't decided yet, but if it hits, 200, 300, I might sell off. I need the money badly. Yeah, I mean, that's totally up to you. Just know, sell at a, if you're going to sell your positions, I always say sell, a portion of it. If it gets to $300 very quickly and you feel like you only needed you only need a certain level of it and you know that it can increase more, then sell off a portion of it. It's totally up to you, whatever you want to do. And if you need the money, then to get the money and use it. It shouldn't be something that you're gambling with, I guess, because this is technically a form of, I don't think it's a form of gambling. It's got to be concrete evidence that this is going to happen, right? But in a sense it is, because you're kind of putting your money in everybody else's hands. They're holding for you, you're holding for them, type of thing. Yeah, JP trading account and their platform is not that great, but if you almost instant withdrawal. I think the hedge funds are trying to keep the price at a certain level where people come hesitant to buy, and I think it can go lower, which will potentially drive buying pressure down so they can gain some time. That's possible. Sorry for the coughing, but I really need to clear my throat. Jeez. Me actually, I don't even have. Sometimes I just neglect Twitch, and I'm sorry. I don't know, it's just I get more questions over there. Good morning, my friend. Thank you for watching on Twitch. The rejects AZF Twitch. I have buy orders at $32.25, $28.50, $24.50. Want to do a DCA. From 40. That'd be pretty good. On top of the morning, man. So many people throwing hate around. This separates the rookies from the more disciplined. Yes. Tell you what, this is going to get you ready. And I'm not saying that you play a lot of positions in the future the same way. Like, you're not going to sit here and say I'm holding for dear life on every single position unless you know it has that full capability of people behind it that it's a heavy heavily shorted position or something like that. We know how that plays out, but it's going to get you ready, to have some form of discipline. If you bring that towards day trading and saying, hey, you know what? Instead of being disciplined in holding, I'm going to be disciplined in how much I'm losing. Then you're going to understand like how to start day trading and how to be successful swing trading and day trading. Anyone watch Matt's interview yesterday? What interview? Can you link it on Twitter? Because I would like to react to it. I don't know anything about eToro. Hey, Matt, can you look at Global Star Inc.? You have a ticker symbol? Give me a ticker symbol. Can you show the Ortex data on AMC? Yeah, I have Ortex data here. The Ortex data is showing me 15%, 15.5%, short interest to free float. We're looking at 79.4 million shares that are short. Just know that it's crazy to see that they return, like, say yesterday, if they return like 6 million, right? I don't know how many they actually returned, but if they return 6 million and I look at Fintel and how much they're actually shorting per day, it kind of makes no sense. It makes it seem like there's way more shorts out there, right? If they're shorting 21% of the volume every single day and they're only returning a certain portion, it really doesn't line up. Like, I wish I had a line for I don't know, shares returned, because you have 100 million shares on loan, right? I wish I had a total like shares returned. Because if you did have a total shares return, I would be able to do like a simple calculation showing what that looks like. Because if you're seeing something like that, is AMC dead? No, it's not. It's not. We shouldn't even question that. Basically seeing 21% as of yesterday, right? If they're shorting, let's go down to here. And if they're shorting 20% or shorting 27.9 million, which is crazy, or 18 million or 14 million or 13 million, and they're only returning 2 million shares, like that physically doesn't like line up. They're shorting so much compared to how much they're actually returning. You know? It's the same thing that I see with Zomedica. I mean, Zomedica is they're being shorted 40% every single 40% of the volume every single day. Let's go back to. They're starting to see it come back a little bit on an upward trajectory, but I would imagine it wouldn't last long because they're going to keep it on that same line, that same angle downward. Sorry, I'm skipping some. The data is really off. The short interest should be 25%. There's a lot of naked shorting out there. It could be 40%. Yeah. I bought 20 shares of GME at $100 back in January and held through all-time high and through the $40 low. And this isn't scaring me. They have to buy their shorts back at some point. Period. Yes, exactly. What is GME at actually? GME is down to 150. That's definitely a buying opportunity. That looks good. I think I only have enough to buy. I think I have free shares that I wanted to get rid of. I have some free shares and some stuff that I want to get rid of, so then I can buy some more shares of GME. Folks, you have to keep an open mind. A better way to understand how things work, and others do without hearing their side of it. Matt Core's interview. Talking about, yeah, if somebody can like send me that, I don't know, somehow, some way, in like my DMs of Instagram or something. Yeah, it's right there, Matt. You found it. Do you think Zom will squeeze? I don't know if Zom will squeeze. I'm not worried about them squeezing right now. I'm just looking for an increase. Once we start seeing some levels, um, some different levels, then we can get into that conversation. But that conversation is not yet there. They're only 7% short from what I've seen. But 7% is kind of a lot, if we're comparing the number of shorts to what we're seeing with AMC and GME and all of those. It's kind of the same numbers. It's just Zomedica has 900 million shares, of a free float. So it's definitely pretty high there. I'm gonna price down Adam Aaron paper hand 20 million to under capital on May 5th. We're at 77 pre-market. At what point do we say this isn't going to happen? At the point to where we see the short interest completely deplete. If we see that short interest fall down, we should see the price increase as well. When we start seeing that institutional or retail traders probably don't hold as much as they held before, if it gets down to a point to where retail traders only hold 30%, then that ends up being a difficult situation. But we're still holding, 80% of the position, while also seeing that they are shorting. They are shorting the heck out of this thing. So if we're seeing those two things happen, if we're seeing people that are holding and the price is going down, then you know that they're shorting it. If they are covering their shares and we're still holding, the price is going to go up dramatically, right? But that's the case. We're not seeing that. We're seeing probably some institutions that are selling some of their position, getting out of some of their holdings, right? Which is kind of stupid. And then you see a lot of shorting that's going on. Maybe some form of fear that's created with some people. It's like 30-minute. What? You need to get out of your. It's a personal question. Me, I'm not. Until if it drops below 20, I'm gonna eat that shit up until they cover, not selling. It's like 30-minute long, but I'll screen record it and get it to you today. What, the interview? You don't have to screen record it if it's not. Was it on his live stream? Is that what it was? If it was on his live stream, that's fine. I don't have to. I don't know why everybody's freaking out so bad. Buy and hold is easy as hell. If you're freaking out, think about how freaked out all of these hedge ones are. Yeah, Lou made a good point. The shorts need the real shares. The real shares were bought from January to March. The rest are synthetic. If the real apes who bought early or the hedges need their shares. Yeah, and I think, yes, they do need real shares, but what they're trying to do here is scare people out of holding some of those shares. And that's kind of what they're doing. I would imagine they're scaring some people off. With a large dip like this, not everybody's going to hold. I guarantee it. But we are going to have a massive amount of people that are still going to hold. So they're probably going to have some people that give them these real shares, and then some people that are continuing to hold and continue to buy up some of those shares. You think we'll bounce up tomorrow? I'm not so sure. We'll see how today plays out because it is starting to recover a little bit. We're also seeing GME recover a little bit. That's a good thing. It still is down about 5%. And AMC is still down about 4.5 or 4.25%. So we're down to $32. And I'm thinking, seeing this, it's more than a double touch point, more of like a stair step on the way down. So we could see a lower high, lower lows, continue to break $30. I think $30 is going to be a level that a lot of people don't like to see. And you're going to see some retail traders sell some of their position. It's just probably a fact. But then you're going to see a lot of people that are looking to buy up those positions that people sold off. Me personally, I'm jacked into this about them driving down so much. Perfect chance for people to buy a sweet dip, and shows they're getting scared. Yes, basically, Matt interviewed a dude who was saying stuff about AMC and retail, and retail will need money. How long do we sit and watch the Nate read his? I mean, that's a little. I don't know. That's weird, but I get what you're saying. And we'll keep tanking, and they're on the last leg. They can drag this out to next year. Financially, this is not good. Yeah, I mean, it's not good for them, especially if we are sticking together. I mean, their overall thought is the fact that you know they're their mindset is in one spot, while you have a lot of people that are retail traders that are probably always questioning what the stock is going to do, where it's going to go, where it's going to get to. And I understand exactly where people's heads are, why their head is there. But the thing is that we have different mindsets. You know, we have that buy and hold mentality, most of us, but can all of us stay in that buy and hold mentality forever? If it gets down to $5, is it something that you're going to be worried about? If it slowly goes down to $5, is it something you're going to be worried about? Not just necessarily saying it's going to go to $5 right now. Yeah, this is where I need I need a clear picture of what I'm going to do. If it does go like lower, I need to make sure I fund the account a little bit more, put some more money into the account, and do something there. Also, I'm in the process of making my own cryptocurrency, so we'll see how that plays out. And that's totally a different story. But I'm in the process of making my own cryptocurrency, buy the dip coin. uh, can you still sell ZOM? Wait, I can still sell ZOM and I want to, but if it gets low enough, I won't be able to control myself. Yeah, I hear you. Um, I don't want to have to sell ZOM and SOS and any other position that I have, but like you said, if AMC gets low enough, it makes sense to buy that dip over anything else, because the possibility for that to increase a massive amount is crazy. The only thing is I know I can't write off that loss there, because I did average down, and when you average down, you kind of lose the ability to write off that loss. Sorry, I'm way behind. I'm seeing people talk to each other. So, question: do you really think we still own the float? It can't be at the same percentage. In your opinion, is it higher or lower? I think it's lower. I think it's somewhere around maybe 75%. Um, maybe even a little lower, but I would say we still do own it, but necessarily, like, if you look at it, we don't necessarily like own like all of the float. We just own a higher percentage of the float. Retail traders, as you've seen on Fintel, holds like 28% of the float. So if they're holding 28%, then we obviously hold less if we're looking at that, a different picture. But you also have shorts that are out there. You have a lot of different stuff that's going into that overall 501 million share count. But yeah, I do think we technically own the float, own a higher percentage. We have to put some action, and I would think it's going to increase as we start to see it get to lower and lower numbers. More people are going to buy. If it gets to, like I said, if people are holding and it gets to $5, there's going to be so many people that are willing to buy. Single digits, so many people that are willing to buy. Back to $10, it gives you a second chance, a second breath to get into this position and watch it ride up. Go in deep at 10,000 shares. Go in deep at 20,000 shares, whatever you want to do. And then wherever it gets to, wherever you feel it's going to make its move to, 100, 200, 300, 1,000, 10,000, whatever it ends up making its move to, you're making a decent amount of money from it. A really decent amount of money from it. Um, I'm not down until it's under $12. Will your crypto burn? Huh. Will your crypto burn? Burn into your secret wallet? I don't know. The way I don't know how to answer that. I don't know what that question means, but it might be to a point to where I sell a lot of my crypto in order to get into AMC and literally put everything in there. No, I think it's buy the dip coin. That's where we're going with. I was watching TikTok and saw about 8 videos throughout the day yesterday saying how bad AMC is going to do. I just laughed. It was all computer graphics and new accounts. That's funny. If I make a TikTok about AMC, I don't get any type of movement, any type of um, views on it. Um, it wasn't a war until the shorts fundamentally didn't cover at $5 after they made their 500 million, and they have dug themselves into a hole. They can't get out without losing everything. Yeah, it seems that way. I'm gonna put 1,400 into Weeble right now. Yeah, I was thinking about doing that. The problem is that they're doing this right at the time. That's what BTD meant. Yeah, yeah, I seen that, and that's what the abbreviation is going to be. I don't know if you call it a ticker symbol or a coin symbol, whatever it is. I think there's only going to be 100,000 coins available, and I'm probably only going to hold like 10%. I'm going to give like 2% to some people. My cousin sent me a video on AMC saying how where are the people getting the shares from, or getting the? Are you talking about for? Oh, getting the shares to short. Where are they getting the shares to short it? They're not getting them from anywhere. This is the form of naked shorts that's going on here. Hey, good morning, y'all. I'm trying to find a bottom or bounce today. Yeah, I mean we are. It looks like 31. In the pre-market is going to be that bottom. Look at this drastic decrease. It's ridiculous. But yeah, it looks like um 31 is going to be that level. But I would imagine in the actual market open that we're going to see a lower level than that. Hey, good morning, y'all. Are we finding I just read that. Um, what value will BTD token hold? What will it hold? I don't know yet. It's mainly just a crypto. From what I'm understanding, I'm thinking it's just going to be a cryptocurrency that, you know, um, I don't know. We just buy and sell, more of a meme token. Nothing, nothing too serious. It's just going to be something where it's tied to us buying the dip, and then eventually maybe we can have some sort of usability to it. But I would imagine it's not going to be something where we compare it to like Bitcoin and Ethereum and all those. But it could be something that goes to a higher and higher price. Um, and the sentiment is probably going to be something to where you are buying the dip and not just, you're not selling everything that you own. So like for me, if you own 10,000 10,000 coins, or 10% or whatever, you don't ever sell your 10%. You don't ever sell your total amount. You may sell one coin, 2 coins, whatever you wanted to get out of it, and then you end up buying the dip. then that's the sentiment behind it, is always to buy that dip. It's more or less for, yeah, like a novelty coin, basically. Nothing serious. And then maybe when we get to like other levels, we can see something. We could actually create a coin that makes sense, usability wise. Watched a few cryptos go up 60% in 2 hours yesterday, and it was ridiculous. Yeah. Yeah, I get with this coin, if we obviously have a lot of people behind it, and the way that this actually goes up and people holding it rather than letting it go or doing anything there, you could see this go up to really high numbers. You know what I mean? So you have 100,000 coins and people are buying up 100% of it. Obviously, supply and demand, people are going to pay higher and higher prices for it. Look at something compared to like YFI. YFI goes up to a high of 96K. Are we going to see BTD go up to 96K? I don't know. But that could be an instance to where it does end up making a huge move, and eventually, it gets to a larger and larger figure, and some of you guys can make a bunch of money from it. We can buy the dips, and then we can continue those processes over and over again. But it's not something where we would the premise behind it is not to sell 100%. Is to possibly only get out of one or two coins, profit a little bit, buy the dip, and keep going. Hedge funds running low on liquidity, possibly pump and dump some of these lesser known cryptos that you saw go crazy gains yesterday. When seen by button removed going up. Wait. When seeing the buy button removed going up last time, I think it's gonna get removed going down also this time. You think they're gonna remove the buy button going all the way down to certain levels so that people can't buy at lower and lower levels so that it can decrease even more? I mean, that would be good. I mean, you get to a point to where it gets to 30 cents, I'll buy everything. Whenever they put that buy button back on, I mean, people will buy so much that they will have to get rid of the buy button yet again. I will sell everything that I don't have in a what's it called? Like a fund in my Roth IRA. I would put directly into AMC. All of the dividend positions that I have, all the ETFs, everything would go directly into AMC. There's no question about it. That's exactly what would happen. But we're seeing this come back a little bit. It's back up to $32. We're seeing AMC or GME at $157.55. That's down about $10 in the pre-market, down 6%. Just some numbers to think about this. This is a comparison of the 99% compared amongst the 1%, 1% and 0.001%. U.S. population is 331 million. I've increased the lowest income thresholds for the top 1%, 0.1%, by 150, rounded up, while decreasing the 99% to 25,000. For the 65,000 combined income, we're still. Guess my mouse not working. I just bought 5 more AMC for the moment. That's awesome. What's going to be the starting price per coin for BTD? What's the time frame for all this to be available? So I'm looking to do this. I was looking to do it yesterday, but for some reason I'm having trouble transferring BNB into MetaMask. So you're going to be able to buy it through Pancake Swap. You'll be able to see it, I believe, purchase it on PooCoin as well. I'm pretty sure. And I don't know what the price is going to be. I would imagine it's going to be low to start, but I don't know. The way you set that is by setting liquidity, and however many people set liquidity on the for how many coins are out there, then that's where you'll see that price stay at. So basically, like wherever you're bidding the price at, and where people continue to bid it at, that's where you'll see that price increase from there. Now I imagine these 99% of the market once we do the U.S. market would crash, the U.S. economy would tank, majority of business would fail. It could crash the global economy. Let's call it. I don't. Wall Street and the U.S. government. What's your opinion on the theory of the ETF AMC is being shorted to bring AMC price down? Well, I don't. Is it possible? I would imagine yes, but it's not going to affect it in a large way because ETFs are only a portion of what AMC position actually is, or whatever positions they hold in there. It's only a portion, so it's not going to be a huge impact to it. As big of an impact as buying a position, it shouldn't have that much of an impact. So, do I believe that it could happen? Do I believe that they would do it? Yes. Do I believe it is happening, or is it happening? I'm not so sure, and I'm not going to sit here and say that it is, because I don't want to give you false information. I'm going to purchase thousands of shares if it drops below 10 at any point pre-squeeze. Yeah, I would agree with you. I would recommend saving buying power until we hit the 20s, in my opinion. Yeah, if we hit the 20s. Oh, when we hit 20s, like high 20s, low 20s, mid 20s, wherever. I'm ready. I'm already holding 1K plus shares at $10. $10.45. Cost average. If it could add up another 1K, man, I would be set. Yeah, I would love to get about 10K. But if it goes down to lower and lower figures, that's exactly what I would do. Because right now, I could tell you I don't have the money to put into Webull because I have to pay a lot of bills. They're literally getting me at the wrong time, just like they did previously when it was $4. I didn't have enough to put back in there because they literally, it was down at that level for probably 2 weeks, and those were my bill weeks. So just tweeted you something interesting. Check it out. Is it possible that they drop AMC to around $10 and buy enough shares to cover all their shorts? Is it No, if they short the price down to $10, the only way they could possibly make up some loss, because no matter what, they're only making up loss at this point. They're never going to get to a point to where they're profitable. Never. But the only way they could possibly do that is if they had some other hedge fund they were partnering up with that would buy every single share that's out there, and look for that price to increase after Citadel covers a lot of their shorts, right? If they cover, if hedge funds cover all of their shorts, then that's where you'll see the price increase a massive amount. And then what you'll see is the people that, or the hedge fund that took out the long positions, are making a ton of money on it going up. So then what they would do is have like some sort of a wash. Even though they would end up losing a bunch of money, they would have a wash. Now they're not doing that because they want to make money off of this. So the only way they can make money off of this is if it drops down, a crazy amount, basically to bankruptcy, right? And that's the only way they can make at least something. I think they already lost like billions of dollars. So I'm not 100% sure if they can even make money at that point. But either way, they're just covering losses. So no, if it goes down to $10, there's no way that they can just cover and uh, be profitable or make up something with what they're doing now. They can buy a bunch of shares and cover the shares, cover the shorts that they have, and it will drive the price up. And as they continue to cover, the price will go higher and higher. That's just how it goes. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Thanks for your opinion. I appreciate it. No problem, Lord. I'll check that out. Twitter. I don't want to pull away because I just got caught up with all the. What's that? Ladies and gentlemen, we got a trace of. Who just now realized what played this talking was way. Good time to live. People are saying. That what this person is saying? That's funny. Um, yeah, that's hilarious. I just got caught up and now I'm behind. Let's see. The biggest trampoline in the world. It's all good. I'm holding. Everybody take a second to like the video. Yes, we have 542 people in here, guys. Do take a second to like the video. It does help out. 1% equals 3,000, 3,314. Super chat equals own cam versus Carl Cat. Wake up with money in the bank. Thank you, IRS. Ready AMC. Thank you for everything you do. Yeah, no problem. I mean, what we're here for is literally to give you guys an understanding, especially in these down times, of what's actually happening. I do need to pay my American Express bill, I'll tell you that. Which is ridiculous. Every month it's ridiculous. I don't know why we spend so much money on American Express. What's today? Thursday? Oh, come on. I don't want this child tax credit. Isn't that just an advance on your child tax credit? That means you don't get it when you do your taxes. I don't want it. Why'd they give me the child tax credit? Can I opt out? Anyways. Yeah, and 6 years later, the SEC will come out and find those two hedge funds a few million if they pull that stunt, and then They will have possibly billions back on their current losses. Yeah, a car to get to go eat these hedgies. He doesn't eat anybody. He just licks the hell out of people. Should I sell and take my losses and then buy back in lower? Would that how I stop consistent loss or no? Typically, you would do that. It's just with this position, you don't understand what the low point actually is, where the low point's going to be, when it's going to take off. A lot of times, when you end up doing that, you end up getting caught into a situation where you sell at the lowest point, right? And then you have to start buying back, and you start buying back at a higher point. So it's tough. You can do whatever you feel is necessary, but for me, I'm not making that move. I could have made that move at $60. Could have made that move at $70, but I felt as though I didn't need to. You know what I mean? I understand I can always buy the dip and bring that cost basis back down. As long as I believe in the position to get back to where it was, or where my cost basis once was, or at least a lot higher than what my cost basis once was, then I'm fine. Out there, ladies and gentlemen. Diamond hands. Yes. Palms are literally itching. Hey Matthew, the AMC chart looks extremely close to the VW squeeze. Does it? Well, that's a good thing, even though this is going to be a lot bigger than the VW squeeze. It's a part of the relief package. I believe it's just free money. I'm pretty sure you had to opt out on the IRS website. I'm pretty sure they're sending you an advanced child tax credit, so I don't believe it's just free money. So basically, you're not going to be able to claim that when you file your 2021 taxes. IRS is sending half of the child tax credit now, and the other half you still get. Okay. I haven't been keeping up to date with that. I would usually do it, but it's a lot of research that you have to put into it. And I used to make a bunch of videos on it, and I would love to still do it, but people want to hear more about the stock market and what's going on there. And I would love to be able to, stay up to date with all that stuff. Like you can even see how much research it actually is, because Meet Kevin doesn't do it as much anymore. He used to do it and update everybody literally every day, twice a day, on that. But he doesn't do it because there's a lot of research that goes into it. Never free money, people. Yes, you have to pay it back at tax time. All right, so 580 people in here, guys. Hit the like button. We're almost at 300 likes. We'd like to get to about 350. That would be amazing. We're going to about 9 o'clock. I think that's going to be a standard thing, is going to about 9 o'clock, because I'm noticing like I need to get a little bit more work done, and also it makes it easier for me to start, let's say at 6, end at 9. I think that's probably a better, until we see something break out and things get a little hectic. I think that's where we'll start to see that I stream at. Wow, Noel, thank you for that super sticker. $50 super sticker. That's amazing. You got a pair destroying buildings, or at least bouncing. Is that symbolizing that we're going to see a bounce today? Is that what you're saying? Go to Clear Value Tax on YouTube. Yes, I've watched his content a bunch of times. Won't matter. I'm going to be paying 50% on my AMC gains anyways. That's true. Well, technically, the child tax credit takes away from, as long as that's on your personal taxes, which it is. It's going to take away from that. And I'm actually going to buy a bunch of AMC in show off. I'm actually going to buy a bunch of AMC in my Roth IRA so that I don't have to pay taxes on that. Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Question, is that symbolizing that we're going to see a bounce? We're going to see a bounce off of 30. Is that what you're saying? Do you see 120 to 130? 120 to 130 million in volume today. Our high volume days, we see movement on the chart. Typically, yesterday we seen a high volume day and it actually decreased quite a bit. Yes, we see movement, but a lot of times we're seeing the downward movement. We're seeing negative movement that's bringing this price down. So it's possible that we do see that. We're already seeing 372K worth of volume in just Webull alone. I would imagine it's a lot more when we look at, the overall market. If we look into Fidelity or TD Ameritrade or whatever, we could see that. I believe in the movement. I believe in the movement. I think you were talking about the movement of the stock, like position. I believe in the movement, but say however, or how, Jesus, somehow us apes get screwed and lose it all because anything can happen. This could kill yours and other guys' YouTube careers. Is that something you ever think of? Just wondering. No, it's not something that we think of. Well, obviously, I think of everybody being able to only put money in there that they're willing to lose, because that's what we always talk about, is saying, hey, if you're willing to lose this money, then you're good, because a lot of times you don't want to put money that you have to pay for bills into this, because you never know what could happen. They could totally screw you. They could cut your leg off. It's just like if you're winning a race by a mile and someone comes and slices your limb off, and whoever is just like, that's not in the rule book. It doesn't say that they can't slice your leg off. You know what I mean? So then everybody else ends up winning and you end up coming in last place. But that's probably the least of your worries, because you now don't have a leg. So that's what I'm saying, and I don't know if that applies in any way, but we're always saying, like, hey, only invest money that you're willing to lose. Like, I won't sit here and take a second mortgage out on the house and put all my money into AMC. That's not the case. I won't put all my bill money into AMC. As you can see today, or this week, you hear me talking about not being able to put more money in there because all the money that's supposed to come in from my income is going into going to my bills. That means that I'm paying my bills first. So again, I think that's the thing we need to tell people, is just only invest money that you're willing to lose, because it can always go the opposite direction. It can always go it could always like not go your way. And this is why I tell people to kind of cover their initial investments. If you get to a point to where, like, you bought in at $10 and it gets up to $70, why not cover your initial investment? I understand that you can make a lot more on the way up, but why not cover your initial investment? Because now, as it gets to the lower point, if you wanted to invest more, you can invest more. Or if it does get to a lower point and you're like, I kind of knew it was at a high point and I already made money, so no matter what, everything I make is gravy. That's exactly what I did, and I hope you took that as a positive. I've seen so many people that have covered their initial investment and bought in lower after they covered their initial investment. So again, I guess it is something that we kind of worry about, because we don't want you guys to lose money. But we always just tell you, hey, only cover what you're willing to lose. Hey man, I honestly am a bit scared with where AMC is going, especially it trying to test 30 to 32 range. I personally set my personal red flags. Do you have any access to short interest slash volume data. I have the, oh, I don't know where it's at. There it is. Where's it? Where's Ortex? Here we go. I have Ortex data, which I believe it did just update, because we see about 80 million shorted shares. We see about 15.8%, almost 16%. We look at Fintel, and we can definitely see that they're shorting it every single day. They're using some of those borrowed shares, and they're shorting the heck out of this thing. Just know that they're typically only borrowing, I would say, less than, let's say, 10 million shares. They're borrowing way less than 10 million shares every single day. They're returning some shares. And if they're returning 6 million shares and they're shorting 27 million shares, or almost 28 million shares, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't line up with where the amount of shorted shares would be in total. Same thing for 18 million or 14 million or 13 million or 30 million. This adds up to crazy numbers. And if they're shorting this many shares, does that mean that on Fintel, we're actually seeing all the shorts that are going through, whether they're naked shorts or, actual real shorts? Impossible for people to say apes aren't selling right now. I haven't sold a small amount of shares. I haven't sold my small amount of shares though. Yeah, I think, like I said, I've said this plenty of times, that you probably do have people that were scared out of their position. So many questions are coming up to where it's like, what's going on? What's going to happen here? Should I sell my position? Should I sell right now and get in lower? And those are the questions that come when the prices do get lower after a lot of FOMO buying that happened. So I do believe that people were selling, but I don't think we're seeing a massive amount to where it's bringing that 80% down to 40%. I think we brought that 80% down to about 75 or 72 to 75%. And then we're going to see a lot more when we see the price start to increase, when people start buying again. I did buy more in the dip, still holding strong, but Ortex is just being the best tool these days. It would be effed up if someone chopped your leg while in the middle of a foot race. Yes, it would be messed up. I have my, I guess if they don't hit, then I'm going down with the ship. Did you mean to rhyme there? But you did. I think we'll see 29, or do you, or where is it? Do you think low 30s is the bottom? Obviously, this is just a guess. Well, right now you're seeing that we're in the low 30s. So we could definitely see it break 30 today. And I think that will be a level to where some people end up pulling out because they bought in maybe at 30. But then there were also some levels at like 20 plus that people bought in at. The difference between S3 and Ortex and the other sites kind of sketch me out in a way. It leads me to buy and hold strong still. Just looks too artificial for me to really believe in all the news out there. Yeah, I would agree with you. The stock is manipulated down for all the shorts to get covered. I didn't get into GME, but I noticed it dropped to 46-ish, and I want to say, but the bounce back, so I figured AMC would do that. So I'm not worried about AMC. I'd agree with you. So today we are making history. Today is going to be a good day. I hope you're right. I mean, right now it's looking pretty down, but we have seen days to where it's dropped down 15% and then increased to being up 6% within the day. So I definitely think we're due for one positive day this week. at least. Bottom line, pay your rent first. Disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. Exactly. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Everything is merely just my opinion. So, however you feel, whatever DD you do, just understand, only use money that you're willing to lose. SSR does jack shit. You're right. I sold because I was down a lot. I felt we were going to see a lot more red. I was going to get in lower and up my share count on the dip, but I didn't know on cash accounts they make you wait 2 days. Yeah, they don't let you trade with. Well, do they? Because they should make you wait 2 days to be able to sell it, not to just buy it. You should be able to buy it right away. It's been a while since I've seen shares available to borrow actually hit all the way to zero. It just feels like a U-turn on the one way the next trading days. Someone tell me this: how can the price go down when there is double buy orders, double buy orders, then sell orders? I don't know. Naked shorts. That's how the price can go down. I mean, if there is more buying power than shorting. Some of the shorting power we don't see. Too late for the rent. Too late for the rent comment. I'm 4 months of rent in. Jesus. You didn't pay your rent at all? Until the buy button disappears, you can only buy one at a time. Dangerous game to sell your shares now. Yeah, I think it's definitely risky. Nobody can predict exactly where the peak point is and where the low point is. If we could, then there would be a point to where people literally just sell at the 70 range and then buy back in at 30. Like, that's something that would have been amazing to be able to do, but it's very tough for the normal person to do. Lord of the Hodl, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate it. Unless I added more money and used fresh cash from my bank account, I have to wait 2 days for what I sold to settle, or so they call it. They called it. Yeah, I don't understand why. I understand selling with unsettled funds, but not buying with unsettled funds. Like Fidelity, if you buy and sell with unsettled funds, then that's when you get flagged and basically can have your account frozen. If retail has been consistently buying, how come we don't own all the shares by now? Well, there are people that are selling. There's like 20% of people that are probably day trading and swing trading, because this is literally a day trader's dream, like the way that it's moving. Well, right now it's not. It's kind of in a bear market. We don't really like to try and trade heavily in a bear market. You tend to lose a lot of money. Did anyone hear anything about GME NFT? I haven't. We only put in what you can lose. Yes, only put in what you can lose, because you never know. And then what people will do is they'll probably sell at the bottom and lose a bunch of money, and then when it starts to go back up, it, sorry, I started reading something. When it starts to go back up, they start to buy again. If you're willing to lose your shirt and you lose it, it's okay because it's an old shirt anyways. I don't know what you're getting out there. I think that's just a rumor for the NFT. I looked at it yesterday, couldn't find anything. Yeah, I didn't see anything on that. We have 700 people in here, guys. Make sure you hit that like button. It does help out the channel a lot. Seriously, I would like to get up to about 450 likes. Right now, we're sitting at, for AMC, $31.60. We're down about $1.80, which is around 5%, 5.5%. Yesterday, we were down 15%. We are seeing a good amount of volume, but obviously it has to be negative volume that's going through this pre-market, which is 416K. GME, we're sitting at down 6%, down to $157.50, down $10 this morning. Shorter dream right now, sell 1,000 shares for $30 to cover at 28, repeat the cycle. Repeat and recycle. There's a lot of smart people shorting and covering, making a killing of these meme stocks. Yes. People that really don't have, like say for me as a day trader, if I was not, a big part of like this like movement here, and I was somebody that was just out there and, didn't care. Like if I was a professional day trader, right? What they would do is they would literally find all of these high points, sell at these high points, buy these low points, end up doubling down at some of these lower low points, and then end up selling at some of the high points again. Then you would make a killing. Literally, I could have made probably just on the money that I invested, on the 16,000 that I did invest right from the beginning. I could have made easily 300 to 400,000. Just on doing that. And then I would have been able to put it all in at this point, if I would have been able to do that. So it would have been great, but I believe in the movement a little bit more. And also, people wouldn't have seen exactly what I was going to do with the money until it got to this point. Like until it got to a point to where I had the 400K and I was putting it back into AMC. Do you know what I mean? So that's where it ends up being a little tricky, because people don't see it until they see the end result. So that's why I didn't do it. I mean, I'm not going to do that, even though it would have given me more shares and helped out the movement and helped out the growth even more. A lot of people just wouldn't believe in it, wouldn't believe what I'm doing until it gets to the end point. As much as I do want the squeeze to happen, just gonna put a little Starbucks coffee for you here. Also, stay positive in GME. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for the super chat, SC. I appreciate that. I don't drink Starbucks coffee, but it'll get me like an orange juice or something. I don't drink coffee in general. People might be selling, but I read a ton of threads and message/comment boards, and 90% of people are adding to the position and still thinking we are above 80% ownership. Yeah, I still don't think we're above 80% ownership. I think it's somewhere in the 70s, but I do believe that we'll see that increase to well over 80% as people start to buy on the way up from here. Matt will drink coffee. I'm unsubscribing. Sorry. I feel like it's kind of a waste of money. It's just like, for me, it's like, buying anything that you would do on a daily basis is kind of a waste of money. I drink water every day, but that's like pennies compared to coffee. I guess, which if you talk to Graham Stephan, he has his 20-cent iced coffee. OCG had filed with Canada, announced this morning. So is OCGN making a move? It's up 3%. That's not bad. You just wake up. Oh, water will get me going. Yes, water does get me going. I'm sure the dividend would have had fluctuating the price, the NFT and crypto to match the price of the stock. But if it could be a one-time dividend, Starbucks took my drink out, chocolate brownie FAP. Don't know what that is. I guess it's a chocolate brownie frappuccino. Frappuccino? Fap? Sure, whatever. And I'm getting no service today. What does that mean? Like no service, as in like the video's not playing for you or something? The dividend is a rumor, not the NFT. Was diamond handing for ages then the last couple of weeks, whilst it's been volatile. I've been selling and rebuying, and I have a lot more shares now at no extra cost, feeling good. Well, that's amazing that you did it right. You know, some people won't do it right, and the point is that you're buying and you are selling and rebuying, you know, more shares. Some people will end up selling and not rebuying until you obviously get to lower and lower points. So if you have more shares, you're obviously feeling really, really good because one, you might have not lowered your cost average, because your cost average may have been like, say if your cost average is $10, and then you sell at 70 and buy back in at $30, right? Technically your cost average is $30, but your overall wash sale cost average is lower than 10. So either way, I mean, you have more shares. I literally drink about 4 coffees in the morning, a dark roast from Europe, so I can't even start without my caffeine boost. Understood. So we were rooting for $8. We were rooting for $8. Happy to be rooting for 31 now. Yeah, I remember that. We were looking for it to push to $8, looking for it to push to $9 and all of this. And yeah, I'm a little upset that I didn't buy any more at that point. Do you think AMC will run up past 55 this week? I don't know. I really don't know. We need to see how this is going to move, because right now it's at 31. Do I think it'll run? I think it's possible that we can see 100% day, yes. But will we? I'm not 100% sure. It's not predictable. I don't know if I can trust someone with stocks if they live in PA, but they're a Saints fan and don't drink coffee. I mean, I guess not. I've been close to 4 months now, clean of nicotine and alcohol. Only hodl. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's really, really good, because one, it saves you money. You know, if you don't have to, if you're not drinking alcohol, you're not smoking cigarettes or whatever, it's saving you money. Especially with like people that get off of coffee or whatever, that's saving you money as well. Now, I have an issue with saving money in general and canceling subscriptions. I'm one of those people. Also, can you help me with that math for some reason it kind of confuses me. It kind of confused me. Is 100% a day just double the price? Yeah, so 100% in a day is just double the price. So if it's at $30, 100% would get to $60. Yeah. And we've seen it grow 100%. It's just on days where we've seen like a crazy amount of volume, and that's once we start seeing that, we see more FOMO buying, which brings it up to 200% maybe or 300%. That would be phenomenal. We have only seen, I think one or 2 days that was over 50%, because the day that we were pushing over 100, we ended up pulling back to like 90 something percent. But then in the after hours market, we grew more. Does utilization and high interest have to be high for us to see them cover? Well, yes. Yes, I would say when you look at the interest, if we can see them getting squeezed out of positions, we would look at the amount that they're paying on these borrowed shares, right? If they're paying a decent amount, then yes, they'll get squeezed out of the position. If they're holding a crazy amount and we're buying up that stock and it is increasing, then obviously they get squeezed out of the position. So we obviously need to see some numbers change, but we're not seeing all of the detail in the background. So there's pieces that are hidden from us that we cannot see. Imagine a percentage of the share price at. That would be crazy if it got to 100K. I mean, it's so iffy if it can get to those points. I definitely see that floor of 1,000, 1,500. Ooh. Yeah, I definitely see a floor of about 1,500. But right now it's just so tough for a lot of people to see that. And my average price on ZOM by 4 cents. Only have 448, and now I have 560. So you bought more. Oh, you dropped your average price. Okay. Sorry. Can't read. I can't see. Can't do anything. If AMC got to 100K, the economy would probably crash. I wouldn't necessarily say that. If AMC got to 100K, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, if it got to 100K, the economy would crash." Well, how? How would the economy crash if one stock got to 100K? Because I'm having trouble seeing if a stock gets to 100K, or 500K or whatever, how the economy would crash. Some penny stocks do it all the time. You'll see some moves that where what did HCMC get to? HCMC, I believe, got to crazy numbers. Yeah, I want to know how it would ever get to, if it got to 100K, how the market would crash. Are you telling me in 2015 did the market crash because HCMC got to $994,000 worth of value? I'm sorry, did the market crash in 2015? I don't think it did. Like, I don't understand how the market would crash if AMC, when AMC does get to 100K, right? The market would not crash just because of people, buying and selling this position. No, you would see a lot of people put more money into other positions off of making money off of 100K. So would I see the market crash? You would probably see the overall market, if Citadel went, if hedge funds went bankrupt, if all hedge funds went bankrupt that were involved in this, and maybe even more than that, then you would see markets crash because of the fact that they have to pull out their assets, right? And when they have to pull out their assets, that's where you see everything fall. But if you see this go to 100K based on them covering and they still are in survival mode, they're still okay, then you won't see the market crash. So the market only crashes if the hedge funds go bankrupt. But if something goes to 100K, that's not a problem. It's going to go to 100K for probably, I don't know, an hour. And then it's going to be at 70K. It's going to go to 60K, 50K. And within that same day, it's going to go from 100K down to probably like 30, maybe even less than that. So it's going to be so fast that, I don't see the market actually crashing off of that. So like if people think that something can get, obviously if this gets to if HCMC gets to a level to where it got to in 2015, I will be insanely happy because I do have about 10 positions in HCMC, just letting it sit there just in case something like this ever happens. And it's sitting in my Roth IRA. So if I gain per share 994K, I don't know why this ever happened. Why it would go to almost $1 million per share. You think any AMC will go anything between 1 and 10K? That's good. I would like it to get to about 5K. If it gets to about 5K, I'm happy with what I have. No way am I being insanely aggressive with what I do have. So like I said, I'm going to, if it gets to 1K, I can easily make a move if I want to. 2K, 5K, 10K, whatever it moves to. I'm happy with it getting in between that, because then that'll be about, after taxes, I'll have millions of dollars. So I'm okay with that. I don't want to be that person that sells everything at the top and derails everything. I want to sell little bits and pieces so people can buy in as we go up. The economy wouldn't crash because you're taking money from hedge funds that are hoarding cash and giving it to the public who spent the cash. This would stimulate the economy. Yes, it would, unless the hedge funds go bankrupt. If they go bankrupt, they're pulling money out of all of their long positions in order to limit the losses. And that's what we don't want to see. Obviously, I would love to see them, crash, but I also don't want the economy to, crash at all. So that's the only way that I see the economy crashing, is if hedge funds have to pull their assets. Lou versus Wall Street was talking about a guy. Guy got out of suicide because of the guy lost so much money. And the guy said he was going to commit suicide. If anyone is in that boat, just know the money isn't worth it. You bought the HCMC dip? I don't think so. I don't know what I actually have here, but I have HCMC in my Roth IRA. I'm letting it sit there as something that can increase to crazy levels. Possibly can get to that level. And if I ever hear of that making a move above $10, which I have an alert set, over here, then I will be insanely happy. Matt, what can be done when the inflow of AMC is greater than the outflow of the price? Just keep going down. What can be done? I mean, we just sit and hold. We understand that it's flawed. We understand that it's illegal things that are happening. The only thing we could do is hold and buy more. That's really all we can do. Now, remember, this is not financial advice, so make sure you only have what's what you're comfortable with losing, because anything could happen. Anything could happen. They could disable the buy button and then only have people sell. And if they end up doing that, then they decrease the stock a hell of a lot to levels that, we were previously at, and they continue to short it and get it to bankruptcy because we can't buy it. And it just makes us lose, because we only have these platforms available. We can't go outside of, or think outside the box here and grab a platform that these hedge funds are using, because they're using their own system, right? You think we're going to test 28 again? It's kind of looking that way. We could possibly see those lower lows, and I mean, it's fine to me. It's fine. The Hostess strawberry cheesecake donuts taste way better than they sound. I don't know what you're talking about here, but the Hostess strawberry cheesecake, they're like rolls. I think they're like, they might be like Little Debbie cakes. Those things are phenomenal. I had those when I was a kid. I haven't had them in a while though. My thought process: the government is keeping the market up until the tax time around March, April. After taxes are filed and paid, they will allow the correction / crash to the market. Morning, Matt and everyone. Child tax credit went out today. A lot of buyers today. Hopefully that's a thing. No, these are donuts. A new thing. Sounds pretty good. Hopefully that's a thing that we do see buyers today. I hope we see a positive day today. But then again, I'm also okay with it dropping, because it creates more buying opportunity, and it creates that opportunity for people to get in at lower prices and buy more shares, because that's what everybody wants. You see the possibility of where it can get to, and then you buy more shares. It gets to $20, you buy more shares. It gets to $15, you end up buying more shares because it's going to lower and lower prices. All right, so we're going to be going until 9 o'clock, like I said. Oh, shoulder. Yeah, we're going to be going until 9 o'clock. We got about an hour, and we'll see how the rest of the pre-market, plays out. And I didn't do any MP Shorts videos yesterday, just because I had to mow the lawn in, very hot weather. So I got a good workout in. I mean, it was ridiculous. I don't know if anybody is experiencing the same level of heat in their state that we are, but it's insanely hot. Seeing 20 will hurt, but oh well. Yeah, seeing 20 for me obviously will hurt, because that's down $6. So I'll be down $6 from my cost basis. And that's not even my full cost basis, but whatever. It's down $6 from my cost basis, so that's 6 times 900 shares. That would be down. Thanks, Matt, for all your time as always. Yeah, no problem. I'm gonna start getting ready to head out for my job, but make sure everyone that the stock at the end of the day is a stock. There are always family and communities that'll support you. Yes, I 100% agree with you. This is why I'm trying to create this community, with all the people that are members on my channel. I want to create this community, and when we go into future stock positions, we can actually go through watch lists, and you can give me your opinions to why you believe a stock will increase. We'll look at it, we'll look at some news, we'll break it down, we'll put it into our watch list for the day, and then we'll see what we can day trade out of that day. Pick a couple of stocks that we see that are moving in the right direction, and then go from there. Because a lot of positions may end up gapping up, may end up making a pretty decent move. But which ones are we actually going to trade? Which ones are we actually going to get into? Which ones are we going to watch? That's what we need to know. So anyways, we're creating this community so that we know what we can day trade, what we can swing trade, what other opinions are, because some of you may be more knowledgeable when it comes to options than I am, or when it comes to even some swing trading positions. You might have some insights to another position that I don't see. So that's always a good thing, because you can bring it to the table. Everybody can see it. We can put it on our list, and then, narrow down that list as we look through all of the positions that we brought up. So early in the morning, we can see what gapped up. Maybe 6 in the morning, we can see what gapped up, spend that hour on breaking down what you guys have. Then we can get into the next hour of narrowing everything down, and looking at a few positions, because we really only want to look at about 4 positions. That's all we can look at on this grid. And that's what I want to look at. I want to have 4 positions here so that I can trade those actively during the day or during the market open. And then we can set up the live trading session on maybe like Patreon, or only for the second tier members or something like that. And we'll figure that out. Live trading will be for, whatever tier. And then we can go from there. All right. I'm very tired, but it is 8:10. Right now we're seeing about 850,000 shares worth of volume in AMC, which is not bad. This is just Webull alone. It hit the 801 mark, and we've seen a decent amount of volume at 801. What was that? 304,000 shares at 801 in a positive direction. Well, it was a positive direction. We've seen some negative, seen some positive, but seen it jump up to about 32.27. So let's see what I'm looking for. Is I'm going to go into Fidelity, and we're going to break this down just a little bit. How many shares do I have of HCMC? Let's see. Oh, so I apparently have 1,500 shares of HCMC. So if it makes that move again, I get an alert that goes up to 100K or 900K out of nowhere, then I'm all for it. But I don't know how and why that ended up getting to that point, and I want to research that. But all I know is if it ends up getting to that point ever again, I have that. So yeah, I have about $500 in SPHD. I have $200 in. I have a lot of dividend positions in my Roth IRA, and then I also have, which I'm up on the Fidelity Select software. Wait, where's that? It's a fund from Fidelity. I am up a total of the percentage wise 33% on the year for that fund. 33%. That is crazy. Total account value that I am up is up. I'm up 20.9% in my Roth IRA. That is phenomenal. This is why you guys need a Roth IRA. I think you need a Roth IRA with Fidelity. If you guys are looking for an IRA to create, go into Fidelity, create a new account, create a Roth IRA, get set up with the fund, and start putting money into your Roth IRA, whether you're putting it into AMC, dividend positions, whatever it actually is, growth positions, get it set up there so that when you make money on it, and then eventually when you cash it out, it's all, tax free, right? So whenever you get to that point. But either way, you're growing that account to levels that are just ridiculous. I would love if Fidelity started to trade crypto and I could put crypto in my Roth IRA. That would be phenomenal. But I can't do that at the moment. Let's see. Oh, I wanted to see the volume, but Aiden's 529 account is up 24% as well, and Harper's 529 account is up 20%, 21%. So if I put it into a standard index fund, I would imagine I would get back a lot less. So I mean, we're doing pretty well. I think they're doing pretty well. Let's look at AMC's volume, because that's exactly what I wanted to look at, which people probably already told me what the volume actually is. Volume is at 2.1 million, so that definitely is way better than what we've seen in the past. Seeing that increase in volume, the only thing is that we're seeing downward movement here. We're seeing a lot of downward movement. Yeah, 2.1 million for TD Ameritrade. Macworth tweeted shares on loan is 102. Yes, I just seen that. Utilization is 92%. Where is that? There it is. Yeah, utilization is 92%. Shares on loan is 102 million. When you sold shares at 20 and then bought back in at the low 40s, did you lose money? Confused on the math for that play. So I bought back in. I sold some shares at 20, ended up profiting. I think it was like 3,000 or 6,000 or something like that. I bought in at high 30s. So I didn't buy back in at the low 40s. I bought back in at the high 30s. So I basically had $3,000 that I made that was profit, that I was able to buy back in and continue to make those moves. So yeah. Well, technically, I actually bought it a little bit more. So all of it's sitting there, and I didn't just bring back the initial investment. So technically, I bought back a little bit more as I'm thinking about it now. So I'm still, my initial investment, I guess I'm down $3,000 from what I pulled out of my initial investment, but I still have, I still have that majority of the initial investment. Yes. I'm trying to think about the math on that. You're right, though. So I don't have the full like 16,000 that I had there, that I originally invested. I think it was 16,000 that I originally invested. So my initial investment into AMC was very, very low. But now I'm trying to think about that. But yeah, I bought it at the high 30s, not low 40s. I'm up 24.5% in my IRA in Fidelity, and I'm 72. Like total, you're up 24%. I can't wait until some company shares finally get released in Fidelity in September. It would allow me to finally play around with options a bit. I noticed yesterday when you live stream, you usually have cough or sniffles, but when pre-recorded, usually you don't. I could say that some of my pre-recorded videos I don't, but a lot of times the pre-recorded videos are only, I don't know, 8 minutes long. So live streams, I'm going for hours. So obviously I'll cough a lot more, and I talk a lot more. So if I'm not talking for a long period of time, I also won't cough for a long. I won't cough at all, because of the fact that my voice, I haven't been using my voice. So now that I'm using my voice, I'm good. But then if I use my voice for like 30 minutes, I'll start coughing or start, getting some need to clear my throat or whatever. But yeah, you're right. Now, yeah, you got me. Is it Jag? I don't know. It's something gaming. Jag UI, gaming. Got me thinking about that because I thought that I had, for some reason, I thought I had my initial investment all set, but I guess I don't. With that last purchase that I had, I don't have my full initial investment, but I do have a large portion of it still. I still have a lot of faith on AMC and GME. When it blows up, would you put some of your money into compound interest or a Roth IRA? I don't know if they're the same. I mean, you technically can get compound interest from many different places. So you're going to get compound interest from your Roth IRA as well as you continuously add to it. When you have compound interest, right, you're just adding to a position to where you're gaining interest on that money and you're gaining interest on the money that you gain interest from. That's basically what that means. So technically you're getting it from both. So if you put it into a high interest savings account, you can technically gain compound interest as well, but it's going to be at a much lower rate. I would say that what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a good portion of it, right? I'm going to max out my Roth IRA. I always do that anyways. Max out my Roth IRA. I'm not going to be able to put everything in there. It's only like $6,000 per year, so that's all you get. I'm going to put some into cryptocurrency, a lot into cryptocurrency. I'm also going to put more back into the stock market. And then you're also going to see me probably make some investments into my own situation, not just long-term situation for the kids, but my own situation as in paying off my student loans, because those are ridiculous. And then paying off the first 15 years of my mortgage so I don't pay as much interest. But then after that, obviously, the reason why I have a mortgage is for the longevity of the loan. Yes, I'll pay interest, but you pay majority of your interest in the first 15 years. So that's basically what I would do. And then everything else would probably go into kind of limbo. It wouldn't directly go into a long-term savings account. Not all of it, because obviously I can only max out what I can max out for my Roth IRA. Everything else, it would have to go into other accounts that I have that are not, an IRA. It's just going to be just a cash account or a margin account or whatever. But my short-term account will probably only hold maybe at max 100K in it, and then we'll trade with that every day. Do you know if that if you have an LLC, you can hire your kids for Photoshop, for example? Now they have a legal taxable income that you can set them up with an IRA on top of it. That's interesting. I didn't know that, but it also will. I also can have them as employees if that's the case. But yeah, my kids are very, very young. I also would consider, I guess, I for taxable purposes, I mean, you consider anybody that really does work with you. I would love to hire somebody as like an editor or somebody that's going to post all of the content that I record. But I haven't gotten to that point yet. I'm not hating either. I'm just confused what you do. Oh yeah, I totally understand, because you did bring something into light, because I was confused as you said that, because I was like, wait, I did recently make a purchase, and that means that I took away from that overall cost basis or whatever I sold, basically. So yeah, I know what you mean. How do you make a Roth IRA? I never believed to leave a paper trail. What? I don't I don't know what that means. Are you actually asking how to make a Roth IRA? I don't know if you're making a joke here. I don't really know. I'm really lost. Or are you legitimately asking me how to make a Roth IRA? How much in student loans? I think it's like 70K. Would it be wise to sell some AMC to buy back at these lower prices, or just keep it no matter what the prices are originally bought it at? That's totally on you. It really is because, um, Sean, thank you for becoming a member, first of all. But that's totally on you because um, it's very tough to time some of these dips and these rallies and valleys. Like, it's very tough to be able to time these. And I know that if we get to a point right now where you say, all right, well, you know what, I'm going to sell because I know it's going to dip lower, and then it bounces. That's always what happens. I've had plenty of times to where I feel like I can predict it based on a lot of the analysis you will build, but this goes against every single law, rule, pattern, everything that I've ever seen. So when you see that, it's really tough to predict this. It's already tough to predict it, and this makes it even tougher to predict it. And I don't even know if tougher is the right word. It might be more tough. Tougher. That's where we go with. Um, but yeah, it makes it more difficult to predict this, even though it was already difficult. So I would say that, that's totally on you. If you feel it's going to fall, then you can make that move and buy in more shares, and then you'll be comfortable in that increase. For me, I'm going to consistently stay at buying the dip, because I actually thought it was going to dip back when I sold my initial investment at 20 so that I can buy more. And then seeing it at 70, I actually did predict where it was going to come back there. And I didn't make a move out because I was comfortable with what I had and where the movement was going. But yeah, it literally is totally on you to make that decision. I'm not a financial advisor. Everything I say is not financial advice. It's merely just my opinion, and I'm telling you what I'm doing with my positions at certain points. So hopefully you can find the right method. I would say that in my case, I'm always gonna buy. Um, I'm gonna buy when it does get lower. I'm not going to sell my positions and buy in lower as it's going down. You typically want to, if you're going to make that move, typically you would do that to where you buy while it's on the way up, so that when it comes back down, you now can buy back in lower. Does that make sense? So if something goes up to 70 and you end up selling at maybe 75 or something like that, or sorry, it goes up to 77, you end up selling at 75, it comes back to about 70, now you can buy in more shares. Or if it comes back to 60, you can buy in more shares. But that's all on you. So yeah, AMC, I'd hold. I'll buy more just in case it rips straight up. If you own the stock, you have a trail. That's a wash sale. If you if you sell for a loss, then you buy back in on the dip. You can't use those losses as tax deductible unless you wait, I believe, 30 days to buy back in, where it's considered a wash. Yeah, more than that. If you put money in a Roth IRA, you still get hit with the 40 to 50% tax for the money you gain through investing. No, no. If you make those trades, investing in stocks, for instance, like say you bought something and sold something the next day and gained 2,000% on it, and you went from $100 to $2,000, right? Do you get taxed at, basically then $1,900 that you gained? Do you get taxed at 40 to 50%? No, if you end up pulling the money out of your Roth IRA when you come of age, I guess. So you should be good to day trade, swing trade in a Roth IRA as long as you're looking to keep that money in there and not use it for income. So what I typically do with my swing trading and day trading is I will use a lot of that for income. Like I will make $100 a day, and when it comes to like the end of the week, if I made my target, then I will pull that money out and trade with what I was trading there before that. Now, I know that I will get taxed on that money by 50%, so I will keep about 50% in there. So if I'm only making $100 a day, then that means that, let's say if I averaged it out to the 7 days, I understand that we only trade for 5 days, but I do factor in the weekends. If I'm looking to make $100 a day for 7 days and I'm taking out half of that, $350 goes into my account, every week for trading. Total that I made over the year would be $30,000+. But when it comes to the amount that's taxed, basically half that would be taxed. So anyways, to answer your question, which I tend to go on rants, Roth IRA, no, you won't be taxed on it if you do come of age. I'm ready for it to drop. I'm ready to drop 1,500. Do you think AMC dips to 30? I want some more GME too. How low do you think GME? I want GME to go down to 100. If it goes down to 100, I would love to buy more. So I'm hoping that things dip, but I can't 100% predict it. I would say that based on yesterday, and I just kicked the heck out of this. Based on yesterday, I think we're going to see this dip. Maybe I didn't kick it. Didn't look like it shook on the camera. But yeah, I think we're going to see this dip based on what happened yesterday. I hope right away we do see that dip, but we truly might see a recovery though. If it dips below 30 and we see it start to come back, I think it'll be pretty good. You have a 50% tax rate? No, it's not necessarily 50%. I just always like to factor in kind of all of the above type of thing. Anything that could happen might. So basically, I'll take 50% and I'll put it aside just in case the taxes are 50%, which most likely they're not. They're probably going to be somewhere around 40, but still. Best we can hope for is they drag this out for a year and then we all considered long and we pay less on taxes. Thanks, Hedges. Yeah, as long as you're not selling all of your position. Anyways, I'm off to bed. I got got a roofer coming over in about 6 hours to look at the roof for the third time. So I'm hoping it's to be replaced. Well, I hope for the best. Some ways to not get heavily taxed? Not financial advice. A Roth IRA. If you're doing it in a cash account, margin account, I think no matter what, you really can't get away from it. From what I understand, legally. Let's see. I want to transfer money into my Roth IRA. I'm going to transfer like 500. Yeah, sure. Perfect. Because I want to, I want to buy AMC in my Roth IRA, but I wanted to go lower. I want to buy more AMC so that when it does go to 100K, I can sell 2 shares in Fidelity and get out. Because if when it does hit to 100K or 500K, right, it's going to be very easy for me to sell 2 shares in Fidelity, or 10 shares in Fidelity versus 900 that's in Webull. You're not making $250,000 a year. Don't worry about taxes. Oh, Matt, dude. I do have a question. What do you think of TCAT? And where it is right now. I don't know where it is right now. I think it's a dead cat, or you think we'll see a bounce? I believe TCAT is the a large pusher of like NFTs, right? Is that right to say? I don't know if it. I don't know if it. As a like long-term play or anything that goes into it that way. But do I think it's a dead cat? I don't. I don't think it's a dead cat. I just think it needs kind of a push in the crypto markets before we can see anything make a huge move here. I know this was something that a lot of people ended up looking at $30+. Do I think it's dead? No. I want to see it down to lower and lower levels so that you can get to a comfortable level and then see that increase yet again. Because you've seen an increase in March, which was well after the squeeze. It wasn't something that was connected to the squeeze. But I do see this as a position that can make a move depending on what's happening in the crypto scene. And crypto is not really making the most positive moves in the last, month or so, or 2 months. So I don't see it making a move anytime soon. But once crypto starts to move, I think you'll see this make a move. So $6 is not a bad buy-in point. I'm waiting for probably a little bit lower, somewhere around maybe, $6 might be okay. I'm looking for something lower, somewhere around $4. So, but if you are looking for like a couple of months out, I definitely see this as something that can make a decent move up. I'll have to re-listen to that part to get it all. Does Webull allow trading with within a Roth IRA? Yes, it does. Or can you transfer gains into a Roth IRA after to avoid? No. So if you trade in a cash account or a margin account, once you cash out, you're basically liable for taxes on those gains. And then when you transfer to a Roth IRA, you're just transferring, you're supposed to transfer like that post-tax money. So you're going to get taxed on the gains that you had outside of that. But any gains that you had within a Roth IRA, that's where you won't get taxed on. You can trade within a Roth IRA, though, on Webull. All you have to do is go and create one, and you'll be fine. If you're doing a Roth IRA, best bet is Fidelity, making it super, super easy to go in between accounts. Yes, it does. It makes it so easy. I literally transfer money to different accounts so easily. It's That's why I love Fidelity for my long-term trading. But if you're looking to do like day trading in a Roth IRA and not be taxed on it, not pull the money out, then you can go through Webull and do whatever you want, but you're going to have to deposit the money directly into there. It's very difficult to transfer between accounts, just like I said. So I agree with that. We have 747 people in here, guys. Hit the like button if you can. Would love to get to 600 likes. That would be great. But yeah, I love Roth IRAs. Obviously, I don't like being taxed, so that makes sense. Let's see, that's something that could be on a list as we start to see that go lower and lower. If it does go lower today and doesn't recover, that would be great. We want to see that drop down to lower and lower prices before we can see that increase, back up to maybe like $30, $24, whatever, a really good short-term gain. Oh, good to know. Thank you so much. This is super important to know. Yes, it is. AMC. Also look at GME. Yep. 1 day. Go down to 30. It's just the way this is dropping. It's just so like surgical, Can you transfer your stock holdings into an IRA in Webull? I'm not sure about that. That's a good question. Can you transfer your stock holdings from like a cash account or a margin account into a Roth IRA? I don't believe so. I think because you can only contribute a certain amount into the Roth IRA, I don't believe you can transfer it directly into there or transfer your shares into there. It's something where you have to buy it. You have to transfer the money in there and then you buy it. If you have time today, are you dropping that exit strategy video? Yeah. So let me check this out because I still have a couple of things here. So YouTube. Main YouTube. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. What else? All right, I have a list of videos that I'm gonna create later. The only thing is like I just barely have time, especially with the 9 to 5 that kind of gets in the way a little bit. Yep, that makes sense. Massive George W forming for GME, or I guess you have a George W here, or why am I calling it a George W? That's not my saying. A W. You have that W formation here, descending W, but kind of continued on that trajectory on the way down. You're saying that we have a massive George W forming. So are we looking at a certain time period? Maybe like 1 hour, 4 hour candlesticks. Go back to this. Now let's go 4 hour candle. No. Anyone see that BS video attacking Trey? No. Where is it? What's it called? Type the title in or can you copy and paste the title into the comment section and then I will search it on YouTube so I can see what the hell they're saying. Mm-hmm. There we go. Patrick Whelan? %. 4% like to dislike ratio? Holy crap. And he comments, he says, good luck with your channel, brother. Jesus. He has 222 likes to 5,900 dislikes. What in the world? Holy crap. I did not see that. I watched it in like 15 minutes. Can't leave yet. Yeah, I'll watch it in 15 minutes because obviously I'm hopping off at 9. So he did it just to get views. I left him a nice long comment. Yeah, what's crazy is the fact that this is what proves the fact that you don't need just likes in order to get the views. For you to dislike the video is still giving engagement. So if you don't like content, don't dislike it, don't like it, don't do anything. Because if you don't do anything, he will not get more views. Do you understand what I mean? This is why I always say, like, people that dislike the video, they're still giving me engagement, so I'm okay with that. Just because I ask for likes doesn't mean that I only want likes. You guys can dislike it if you want to. But anything, any form of engagement continues the push for YouTube. YouTube will push it. It's just like the most disliked video on YouTube has a crazy amount of views because there's the most disliked video, right? Read my comment. What's your comment? He attacks Trey. By the way, he looks like fuck. Yeah. I will read your comment. I'll read your comment on that video. I will. Can I throw poop at him at least? Yeah, I mean you can go and just throw. Well, the thing is, it all creates engagement. I mean, the best thing you could do if you hate a video is not do a damn thing. Don't even give it the time of day, because yeah, I don't know. Well, was that the live stream he did yesterday? I got so many dislikes. No, I was just looking at the video that he posted about trades being desperate. What's all the drama? Yeah, do what your mama taught you. Yeah, ignore him. Yeah, exactly. I believe AMC is going down to 25 by the end of this week. That'll be good for people that can actually, that couldn't afford it at certain prices or couldn't afford a decent amount of shares at certain prices, and now they can afford a decent amount of shares. It's fine. Just watched it. He's just tanking his channel, I'm sure. No, the funny thing is, even if you, like I said, if you get a bunch of dislikes, yeah, you're gonna tank your channel for a little bit, but after maybe a year, you probably gained, um, I don't know, 100,000 subscribers, because there are people that do think like that out there, and they feel like everybody that's invested in AMC is not doing the right thing. So you can actually gain subscribers on both sides of the coin. Do you know what I mean? Oops. I don't want to see a symbol. Let's look at 3 months. Where's this price at that I'm at now? That's at 33. Probably going to see it settle somewhere around 24, 25. There's a possibility we could see it get down to about 20. Possibility we could see it get down to 24, 25. People said 28, but I don't see any levels at 28. I think there's probably something at 29, but I don't see much. I don't see much, but there's definitely, I would say, a level somewhere around that $24 mark, and we could see even a low of 18. Yeah, we got some of these levels here. Well, the climate around the world right now is selling big time. What video? This video. Let me go back. Oh, somebody's exposing Patrick Whelan 2 years ago. But yeah, that's what it's all about. But anyways, this video right at the top. This is what I'm looking at, and it looks like when you go into it, Trey commented and said, "Good luck with your channel, brother." And he commented saying that you could see that it's not personal. Like you killed it from $2 to $70. Don't ride this dead horse into the ground. Like, it's ridiculous. And you could see the like to dislike ratio. He now has 6,000 likes or 6,000 dislikes, and 222 likes. But he's gaining. He has 27,000 views from that video alone. So I don't know. He gains views from it. So it's something I'm going to check out later and say that he's stupid. So at least we know who was paid off. Anthony, thank you for becoming a member. Your gains are taxed. That's it. Yeah, it's just your gains. $3,000 in losses can be used as tax deduction as long as it's not a wash sale. So if you end up, you know, having a loss of $3,000, sell it and get back in lower, you can't take any loss anymore. If you'd be selling. Wait, would you be willing to do a reaction video, video about Trey? That, yeah, I don't want to give that guy view, but I can see it. I mean, I can. Again, I like you said, I don't want to give that guy views, but I think I don't know. I don't know what to do at that point. Mapping frequently from the frequency of the question, you should do an educational video on how taxes work in the stock market. Gains are taxed, losses are not. Wash sale and what is, so newbies know. Yeah, that's true. That is true. I would love to defer to a tax expert on that. Maybe because I have a video coming out on options. Maybe we can talk to, because I know about taxes to an extent. Maybe we could talk to my brother-in-law again because he's a CPA and he can actually break down everything there is to know about taxes, because I only know to a certain extent. I took maybe 2 tax classes. I do my own taxes, but they're not as complicated as it can get. Do you know what I mean? He was very disrespectful and will most likely lose subs from it. I think he will lose subs, but he probably will also gain subs from the people that don't like the movement. There are a lot of people that don't like the movement, but then there are also obviously a bunch of people that do love the movement. Does that mean haters need likes too? Apparently. Refuse to watch that video, but will happily watch a Matt reacts for it. Yeah, you'll definitely see some reactions, I'll tell you that. A lot of high school drama this morning in the chat. Just buy and hold people. Oh my god. All right, so we got about 5 minutes. All other YouTubers need to do reactions to take away from his views. Yeah? No middle school drama. Yeah, that's a little ridiculous that somebody would come out and just, like, I mean, yeah, when you start to have a lot of views and a lot of subscribers and all that stuff, you get people that bash you, you know. For Graham Stephan, I think I made a video from like a while ago on him, and it's not like bashing everything that he does, but you know, you always find something to where you tie a successful creator to somebody who's up and coming, right? That's what they try and do. But you know, he tried to take a level of he tried to take a kind of a crazy approach to where you can actually lose subscribers, but it seems like he doesn't really gain subscribers from the AMC community anyways, so he's not really going to lose too many subscribers. He'll just have a bunch of dislikes and may gain some subscribers from people that watch the AMC videos with hate in their heart. Do you know what I mean? So I'm thinking for YouTube purposes, he's not actually playing a bad game. But when it comes to the overall situation, it's horrible. And I'll go over this in like a reaction video if you guys want to. 360,000 unemployment claims. It's because of damn unemployment. Have great day, everyone. You too. This guy is just trying to gain views from using Trey's popularity. Yes. Well, everybody does when you have a certain level to your channel, to your name. So like even me, I will react to Trey and Matt stuff. One, because it does get views, and two, because I like to be able to put out those reaction videos because a lot of the things they say are great. I'll react to Charles Payne because Charles Payne gets a lot of views as well. If he had his own channel, which I don't know if he does, I would imagine he would get a ton of views for how positively he talks about AMC. Thank you for everything you do. I learn more and more every day. That's amazing. That's great to hear. Because the thing I try and do is, you know, teach people. Matthew, what do you think of my new tweet? Do you think after that large dip we're right there? So you think we're gonna see it go back to some of these levels? I mean, it's possible. Possible. It does look like we are in that level. The only thing is that we're not seeing a pretty big drop there. We're seeing a little bit of a dip, but not as big of a drop as what we would see with the Volkswagen squeeze. But yes, we are in a downward move towards lower lows. So can we get to lower lows where we get back to 10 or get back to 8 or get back to 5 or whatever? It's possible. So reasonable hour of it. How many AMC days can we have? All right, I quote retweeted it with do you think he's right? I'll like it too. Oh, hey Matt, can you pull up the short interest? I can. I'm gonna have to get out of here though, but I will pull it up. It looks like that's only 2.93%. Not really showing a lot. Funny how we are thought manipulation doesn't compare to how a 45-degree angle is trading. Yeah, getting ready to head to work. Have an awesome day, everybody. Matt elevated my perspective on trading in general. Please go watch his old videos when you get a chance. They are insightful and educational. Okay, I'm half listening because I gotta work. Perfect. Thank you for saying that. That means amazing. That means amazing. That means a lot to me. But I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you guys for being here. Make sure you guys hit the like button on the way out. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. Also become a member for the four new members that we gained today. I really appreciate it. Didn't really play too many ads in this video, which does suck because it limits the revenue that you can get from the video. But I still appreciate you guys. It was such a great, engaging conversation that we did have. That's why I wasn't able to press the ad button too many times. But again, you guys are amazing. Thank you for coming here, for being a part of this community. All of the members that I have, all the people in Patreon, all the people in Discord, all of the people on the other channels. I will try to create some more content, definitely do a reaction video and stuff like that. Also, I have more Patreon videos that are coming up. So guys, again, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.